Welcome back, nerdy movie fans, and I got a message for you. Have you been trying to complete the Halloween franchise in theatrical order? Have you struggled to find hope in this franchise's um, quality after the movies like Curse or Resurrection, even H2O? Have you struggled to sort of gain any sort of hype or excitement for movies, especially with movies like Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 existing? Well, I got news for you. So, Halloween 2018, that is a movie for you. It's the saving grace we've been waiting for. It is finally bringing the tension and excitement back to this cursed, for lack of a better term, franchise. And so, I really enjoyed it. Now, my copy is unfortunately not the best. So I purchased the 4K Steelbook Trilogy. Now, it's a nice, sexy cover. It's really nice, and I do like it a lot. I'm glad I have it. It's got that nice slip where you see Michael Myers. On the back of it, you have some scenes from, I think, all three movies from this trilogy. However, the 4K disc for the 2018 Halloween, it kept pausing at different times. So there were moments during the movie I had to fast forward just to skip over where it was pausing. I think I only missed about, in total, 20-30 seconds of the movie. But, you know, when it skips, it has to skip a little bit of time to get past that, I guess, scratch in the disc. So that was a little unfortunate. I am eager to do some research and see if that's just an unfortunate side effect of this set. However, that aside, I did really enjoy this movie a lot. This is, I don't want to rank these movies too early, but this one probably is amongst the top for me. I mean, I enjoyed this one a lot more than a majority of the sequels, which is convenient given that this movie is almost like a reset timeline, but not entirely. So this movie is basically, essentially, the new Halloween 2, where this movie takes place after the original, but only after the original. It ignores all of the sequels, and it's, of course, not a part of the Rob Zombie Halloween universe either. So this is basically a new Halloween 2. That's the way I put it, because of where it takes place in the franchise. So I can't think of any other franchise where one movie, especially the starter movie, is the start to two separate timelines. So I just found that really interesting, and honestly, I'm not complaining. I'm glad this took place after the first one. I'm glad that the first is a part of this movie's past and history, because I think everything that the other sequels were trying to go for, or at least some of the later ones for sure, this movie sort of executed those ideas, in my opinion, perfectly. So the whole idea of Laurie Strode coming face to face with Michael Myers after her attack, in this movie, it was built to be suspenseful. It was built to build some tension around the storyline and characters, while throwing a ton of cannon fodder into the mix as well. I mean, this movie had quite a bit of kills, and it sort of became the filler for this movie. Not that filler in a negative way, filler as in, we don't just skip right to Michael Myers finding Laurie Strode and then it's her on the run for the entire movie. No, this built up that suspense throughout the majority of the film. So I really enjoyed that. So the movie sort of picks up where, of course, after the first one, where Michael Myers has been in Smith's Grove for an extremely long time, and there's two reporters that show up. They want to try to see if they could be the ones to get him to speak. So in this timeline, he hadn't said a word since basically when he was a kid, which I believe that takes place in the other sequels as well. I don't think he ever spoke, except for Rob Zombie's Halloween, that we're not really going to dive into because I just don't want to. So in this movie, these reporters bring his old mask. And so in this new timeline, that's the first time he's had this mask since the original film. And so that sort of is building suspense of this evil presence, because you see the other patients at Smith Grove sort of feel that evil and intensity that comes with this mask. And so I just find it really interesting having all these other characters affected by it as well. It's almost like this was the awakening of Michael Myers again, is this mask being in his presence after all this time. So the way this scene was built and the way it was assigned, I thought it was really effective. It was really cool to see his slight reaction to it. He obviously did not turn around. We don't see his face, which is pretty nice, but we see him sort of almost flinch at the acknowledgement of being in this mask's presence. So after this, the reporters go to Laurie Strode because they want to interview her, and ultimately they want her to go have a meet and greet with Michael Myers, essentially. And of course, she says no. So this brings up the past all over again for her, as this takes place immediately before Michael Myers is supposed to be transferred for good. And so this is sort of like his last chance to say anything to any reporter or to Laurie Strode, and it's just not happening. So this brings up emotions with Laurie, obviously, after she had been traumatized, and we get a sense for what she's been doing since. She has this daughter and a granddaughter, where her daughter grew up paranoid, pretty much, because Laurie Strode was. She learned how to fight, how to shoot, how to defend herself, all in preparation of maybe one day Michael Myers comes home. And so that's essentially the backstory for Laurie Strode's family in this movie. And her daughter's husband is just kind of a dick. I mean, he has no regard for Laurie Strode's well-being at all whatsoever, which is extremely disappointing. It would have been nice if we could have all these family members come together as a family, but the guy just didn't. And so for this movie, as we move the plot along, we get a little bit of interaction between Laurie and her family, and there's this extremely strained relationship. But this is right after Laurie Strode went to Smith Grove to see Michael Myers as the van taking the prisoners leave. So she sees him. We don't see this, but it's mentioned in a later scene where she got a look at what she assumed to be him, and it freaked her out. And so, rightfully so, because we get a interesting scene where we get this new guy and his son are driving along the road, and all of a sudden they see the patients from this car just in the road, and the bus crashed on the side of the road. So, as fans, you know Michael Myers has already escaped, but the way the scene is built, I think skipping over showing him crash the bus was done strategically because it builds a suspense around where is he, what has he done, is he still there, is he already taken off, how many patients has he killed, did he kill the bus driver? And so there's just a lot of mystery in the sequence, which I found really interesting, the way it was made and the way it looked, which really, really cool. So there's a new doctor who basically, essentially, he's called the new Loomis. So he's been Michael Myers' doctor for a long time, and he wants to understand the mind of Michael Myers. So he has a little bit of a demented obsession that the other characters in this franchise or in the previous sequels, Loomis or anyone that was in his place never really had this desire like this new guy has. And so, with Michael Myers escaped, obviously this is where we get to the carnage part of the movie, where a majority of the middle is him killing one character after another, starting with the reporters, going toward these homes, just killing people in their homes. I mean, it's almost a slaughter fest. But the mask looks good. The kills look good. I mean, this is a well-directed and acted movie. I just really like the way the action sequences you would want in a Halloween movies are executed. I just love the way it was executed. It was effective and it made it entertaining, which is what a lot of the sequels lacked, especially with ones like H2O or The Fifth, I believe, where it's just a lot of filler of characters talking that really aren't accomplishing any story or character development. There's just a lot of filler just for the sake of filler. But that's not the case in this movie at all, which is a strong positive on my part because filler, I understand, is necessary for some films. I just feel like when within the horror genre, or specifically slashers, the filler should be characters dying. And that's what filler should be in a slasher. And to see that in this movie, after this concept had been absent from so many previous movies in the franchise, it was a breath of fresh air. So as Michael Myers is slaying and slashing his way through all these people, we finally get toward this climax where he's finding Laurie Strode in her home. I mean, he is on the path to finding out where she's going to be, all while her Laurie Strode's granddaughter, went off with her own friends and has left the party and is now on her way home. At this point, Laurie Strode has already informed her daughter about what's going on, that Michael Myers is out, he's escaped, and he's looking for the family. And so the police are involved now, and it's just building the stakes, I believe, at this point. Even with the new Loomis, for a lack of a better term, for this character, he actually is with the police when they find Michael Myers, but he runs over the driver, the police officer, runs over Michael Myers, and wants to just shoot him dead. I mean, he wants Michael Myers gone and done for. Whereas his doctor says, no, he's property of the state. He's a patient. He shouldn't be harmed. And so the cop and the doctor fight, and they both try to kill each other, but the doctor survives. So putting Michael Myers' body in the backseat of the police car with Laurie Strode's granddaughter now, three of them are in the vehicle, and they drive a little ways until, obviously, Michael Myers wakes up and attacks, crashes the car. Doctor's killed, Michael Myers escapes the vehicle, and so does Laurie Strode's granddaughter. So as these two characters take off, these two surviving characters now are both essentially on the way toward Laurie Strode's home. And when they get there, I mean, this is where the intensity has all built up to, is this home. You know, Laurie Strode, she has the secret basement. She's got gun racks all over. I mean, she's prepared for this. And so something that I thought was really interesting about this movie that a lot of the sequels didn't have, I know this is a lot of comparison, but this is a new timeline essentially replacing the other. So I feel like comparison has to be involved at least a little bit. With a lot of the sequels, especially the ones Laurie Strode was in, she was a victim all over again, where she's just running away from Michael Myers over and over. But in this movie, she's prepared to fight back, and she gets some really good hits on him, and it's a more interesting fight. It feels like a showdown between two characters and not just a stalker trying to kill his next victim. This feels like an actual two legacy characters worth of a showdown. So it makes it more exciting when it's built this way. I find it more entertaining. I find it easier to connect with these characters when you have something to root for, a reason to root for them. So I was in awe about how much I was loving the film at this point. And the showdown gave me everything I wanted. This movie has already had subtle references to other parts of the franchise. We also have from Season of the Witch, which I have right here, with characters in the skeleton and witch and pumpkin masks. You have three characters trick-or-treating in these outfits. And they don't say or do anything. This is just to include them. I feel like it was just to have a slight nod to that movie, because it does have its own following. I mean, there are fans who enjoy Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. So I feel like that being included in this movie was just sort of nice to see. I mean, it wasn't my absolute favorite, but given the state of The Curse of Michael Myers or Resurrection of Michael Myers or even H2O, I mean, I enjoyed Halloween 3 Season of the Witch more than a lot of the sequels. So references like that was nice to see. And so as we're finally here in this final showdown, it actually ends in a heroic finale where Laurie Strode is knocked out of the house, but when Michael Myers looks away, then looks back, she's gone, which is something that's been a trope for Michael Myers for so many movies now. And so Laurie Strode just feels like a badass at this point. And I feel like it's what's been needed for so long. The idea of her fighting back and having an advantage and having this desire for the fight, it just makes it more, there's more to look forward to than just the next time she runs away from him. So not only is the sequence exciting, but Michael Myers ends up in this basement, and while these characters escape the basement, he gets locked inside, and Laurie Strode is ready to basically just set the house on fire, to burn him alive in this home, trapping him in the basement in the home. And so I know there are 2 sequels, and I have already seen sequences of, I have a little bit of a spoiler of how he survives this one. But even without that survival aspect, or even without the other two movies, this is a standalone. I mean, it would have been perfect. I love the ending. I mean, this is probably, in my opinion, one of the best endings a Halloween movie has had. So, yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. This was the closest to what we've wanted in so long. I mean, in my opinion, this was the answer to all of the problems in majority of the sequels. Now, I did enjoy aspects of some of the old sequels. There were some of them I liked. There are parts of the ones I liked that had scenes or sequences I didn't like. I mean, it's very mixed with a lot of them. But with this one, for the first time in a while, my opinion is, for the majority, positive. I can't really think of something I didn't like about this one. There's even this the one babysitter character in this movie, the kid she's babysitting. He had the comedic aspect of this movie, and it was done the best way possible. I mean, this kid was speaking facts about everything going on. He was seemed to be the most knowledgeable and mature character in this movie. So he was great. I hope he's back in the next one. I don't know whether he's or not, but I hope he is. So yeah, this has been what I've been waiting for. I knew that this franchise had to sort of have a sort of revival within itself at some point, and I think this is it. So if you've seen Halloween, if you've at least seen the first one and you struggle with some of the sequels and you just want to skip to the good parts of the franchise, I would just go straight to this one. I mean, this is great. I absolutely enjoyed it. So, still here, thank you for watching my review of Halloween 2018. And I can't wait to watch the next one. And I can't wait to review it here on the channel for you guys. So, thanks for watching. Keep it digging.